The starting point was actually Gary Vaynerchuk. What is up, Making the Millionaire peeps? Episode 129, week of November 5th. I'm back home right now. This week, a big focus, especially the first part of this week, is this webinar that I'm hosting. I'm hosting a webinar. The webinar is the first major piece of the funnel toward a six-figure secret boot camp. So I'll be doing the webinar on Wednesday. Today's Tuesday as I'm saying this. So tomorrow I'll be putting the webinar together and then pushing it toward the six-figure secret. I honestly have not even looked to see how many registrants I have. I don't know, I just haven't had a desire. I don't know if I'm a little bit nervous. At the same time, it's also irrelevant because I'm going to get on the webinar and do what I'm gonna do no matter how many people are on there. I'll be doing it twice tomorrow. My website is still hacked as of right now, and that's gonna be an interesting thing because I'm wondering how that's going to play into when I make the offer. And I'm looking for some, just to document, I'm looking for some ways to get back and on track and steady with my own self because I've fallen off the wagon on a few things. My main structure. I mean, I'm still doing it probably 80% plus at the time, but it's not 100%, and these are things that I want to have done 100% of the time. And I'm talking about mostly my meditating and exercising. And even when I've had the exercise streak, I've just been doing 10 minutes of yoga. I haven't done a real heavy, get a sweat up exercise thing for a few weeks. And that's something that's a focus of getting back on track, especially after this week when I just have a little bit more solidarity. But yeah, I still have this little cough that I hope goes away soon. I'm gonna need it because of a little surprise I have coming up that you won't see on this episode, but on a future episode of what's going on in my world. And then, the other morning routine thing, I haven't been getting up at 4:30 consistently for a while. So those are the three main things that I want to just make sure I hammer home is getting up at 4:30, exercising hard, and meditating. Those are things that I know if I have those in place, then I feel great. And so this morning, I'm just looking for a way to decompress. I'm going on a stroll here. It's about 45 degrees. Yeah, we're now in November, so I'm gonna continue my walk and then get back home and get my laptop and everything and just get to work. I'm just on a little drive this morning again. So far this week, yesterday was a little bit tough emotionally at first, and it's good for little reminders what I'm doing right now to recenter. But I did my webinar, and it caught me off guard, first of all, because the most signups or most registrants for the webinar ever were in it. At least the first one, because I did 2 webinars yesterday, but the first one, nobody signed up. Even though I felt like I crushed it in a way that I never have. And I also felt like I sold it better than I ever have. And yet, nothing happened. But as I've had a little bit of space to step away from it, I'm grateful for it in some sense, because these are the little things that I need, that I want to have in my life to develop, to literally be able to do things for the sake of doing them and not be so emotionally tied to whatever comes from the result. That's the plan. Also, something good actually came, another good thing. Not that that's not good, because it's something that I want to be able to do and just get more centered in myself, that I do this for the sake of love and from a place of service. And I have no attachment if somebody's doing it or not, if somebody's going to join the six-figure secret program after doing the webinar. But the universe has some really other cool stuff. So this is kind of cool. So it's not all completely set in stone, but a business client came to me, and they've already paid the first deposit of $1,000, but it's for a VIP day for $5,000, which is an afternoon, and that's awesome because my fee's been going up every time, and this is the first time at a $5,000 fee, which I'm excited about. I'm just gonna do everything I can to flood so much goodness into this dude because I see a lot of myself in him with getting started. This guy came from, the starting point was actually Gary Vaynerchuk, and I find that so amazing that it came through Gary V. And so it's just cool, how all the, I'm not just watching Gary V, but I'm literally tied to it. So this is how he came through Gary V. He found Gary Vaynerchuk somehow and then read Crushing It. And in Crushing It was a case study of Pat Flynn, the podcaster. He listened to one of Pat Flynn's podcasts with my client, Sagi Schreiber. And Sagi Schreiber talks about me in the podcast about being his coach. And then he reached out and then he found my book, read it, and then reached out to me for coaching. Those are a lot of little connections that started with, again, Gary Vee. So that's something I didn't ask for, plan for, predict, and it happened. So I'm pumped for that. It's a good thing. But something I think I want to document here is kind of where my head's at is I'm already thinking forward in the next year. Like, I can't wait for my recalibration that's happening the day after Christmas to just plan it. I just already listened to my declaration letter. It's crazy how some things have happened. I guess I'm not surprised, but one of the things being like being invited to speak on stage with amazingly beautiful people that are making the world a better place, and just coming off of the Mel Robbins, Jay Shetty, Lewis Howes, Brendan Bouchard, you name it, like all those people. That's pretty cool that happened. Something that feels right that I want to go deeper into is doing some sort of online content that is inspiring people to take action, to act. I want us to create content that is bite-sizable enough that gets people to just start. There's a lot of people that I met in Salt Lake City that had visions and dreams, and I got really clear on like, well, what's next for you? And some of them have sent me screenshots and stuff of, well, I started my book, or I'm getting closer to finding out what my passion is. And I want to create content around that. Like, one of the first pieces of content that's on my mind right now is some sort of maybe like a 3-minute video on Facebook that shows that you can write your book. It's easier than ever before. We live in a time that all the limitations that have been out there are no longer true. They no longer exist. And so maybe that will help somebody start just writing, like just start the book. So that's the message, or that's something I want to do. Anyway, just in kind of a reflective mood, I'm gonna wrap it up right now and just get a little more recentered, and then I'm gonna go do some sales calls for the 6-Figure Secret, get things crushing, and go from there. What up, crew? Here in Prescott. So where are we? This is my wife that I'm talking to. We got Becca and baby Belle right there. Today's actually Friday, so I'm ending the episode a little bit earlier than normal. And that's just because of a little surprise that's gonna be coming up. Not anytime recent or too soon around this episode, but before too long, a few episodes coming up, I have a surprise why we are here in Prescott, so stay tuned. But anyway, it's been a good week. If at the very least, feeling what it feels like to get systems in place, because I'm starting to build out the actual systems of getting people into a webinar that then sells them into the 6-Figure Secret, and that entire thing's gonna be sequenced out with the emails, with dropping the modules to them, so it will allow me to help more and more people. Still got to get the hang of it, because again, I haven't had very many sales pop through, but it's been an awesome learning curve, and it feels like there was something else this week. I spent a lot of time getting clear, writing. I wrote more this week than I have in months. Stuff just kept downloading, and I just kept writing and writing and writing, and so that was good. It's been a good week with this new launch of the 6-Figure Secret, with a system around it, with everything like built in with the funnel, and I'm just gonna keep going after that, fine-tuning it. We'll see where it takes us. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Calvin Wayman, your millionaire in the making, and I will see you on the next Making the Millionaire episode. Becca, do you want to say bye? Peace out, guys. That was so exciting. Okay, peace out. Bone. Can I bone too? Let's try this. Bones.